What's up, everybody? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. As always, my name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, so as you can tell by the title of this video is all about the new moon in Scorpio happening on Sunday, November 15th, at least here on the East Coast. For some of you, it's going to be happening on Saturday, November 14th. But in any event, it's happening this weekend. This video is going to be a little different than my other moon series videos. If you notice, I usually do a video for the full moon and the new moon every month. This video is going to be a little different, mainly because the energy is very different. I feel like this new moon feels, first of all, it feels so much more intense than other new moons that we've experienced in the last couple of months. That's number one. And number two, you know, new moons are all about new beginnings, right? It's the beginning of the lunation cycle. It's when you plant seeds. So we're at the very beginning of something, you know, of whatever it is that you want it to be. But this new moon is very heavy with like ending energy. It's very, and I'm gonna keep it blunt, this new moon is very heavy with death energy. And that's no surprise because we're in Scorpio season. And the new moon is when the moon and the sun are conjunct. They're right on top of each other. They're right next to each other. And so the moon and the sun are both in the sign of Scorpio. So of course there's going to be this element of endings, right? And you know, there is life after death. And I think that that's the theme of this new moon. It is the beginning of something new, right? But it's also like we have to acknowledge what has just ended. And I don't know about you, but this new moon has been crazy for me, crazy in a good way. There has been a serious ending in my life that's sort of been, it's like all of the pieces have been coming together for this huge ending. And I've been experiencing this energy for a good week and a half. And I say that because it's important for us to realize that whenever we're talking about planetary energies, whenever we're talking about astrology, you know, and I say, okay, on this day, there's going to be a conjunction, or on this day, there's an opposition. That is when, you know, that's when that's like the snapshot in time. When I say that two planets are conjunct on this particular day, it's a snapshot in time. It doesn't mean that on that very day is when you're going to feel those planetary energies. Energy is very fluid, as you know. Sometimes it's hard to see where it begins and where it ends. So it's sort of like the ocean, kind of like it ebbs and flows, and it's just very fluid. So although the new moon is set for this weekend, you may have already started feeling the energy, or you might not feel it for another couple of days. But regardless, this energy is very different and it's very potent. We've got a lot going on around this new moon, astrologically speaking, that makes it feel different. But I know I can attest from my own personal life, this new moon has been all about endings. And it's so pregnant with possibility. It's almost like clean slate. And again, this is sort of typical of new moon energy, right? It's all about new beginnings. But this one in particular, once you acknowledge the death, and once you acknowledge the fact that for at least the last couple of months, a lot of us have been going through the underworld. A lot of us have really been going through hell, to put it bluntly. And now it's like we're beginning to re-emerge. We're coming out of the underworld. And now it's this fresh new beginning, this clean slate. And now our manifestation powers are really going to be amplified. But again, we have to acknowledge this death energy. We have to acknowledge this ending energy. So let's start by getting into the technicalities and get into the astrology of what's been going on, or what will be going on, I should say. All right, so Again, like I said, new moons are when it's when the moon and the sun are conjunct. And as you can see here, we've got the moon and the sun conjunct here in the sign of Scorpio, right? So they're both at 23 degrees. 23 degrees is the Aquarius degree. And when I say that, I'm referring to what's known as the degree theory of astrology, where each degree represents a different zodiac sign. And 23 happens to represent Aquarius. And what I love about this Aquarian energy with this new moon is that Aquarius is all about innovation. It's about deviating from the norm. It's about revolutionary, right? Everyone's going right, you go left. And I love that sort of energy for this new moon, because it sort of signifies that, like I said, we just came through an ending, or we're currently experiencing an ending. We're traversing the underworld before we can reemerge. And once we reemerge, it's like our complete way of thinking is very different. I feel like this almost, and I'm just getting this now, it's almost like this is sort of ushering in the age of Aquarius. There's a lot of debate about when the age of Pisces ends, when the age of Aquarius begins, but I feel like just the energy itself, that's what it feels like. Like, don't quote me as this is the beginning of the Aquarian age. Don't quote me on that. I'm just saying that this new moon has that sort of feeling to it, particularly because it's happening at the Aquarian degree of 23 degrees. So this, yes, this new moon is happening at 23 degrees in the sign of Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, I don't know about you, but I feel like Scorpio season has lasted an eternity. I feel like Libra season went like that, and Scorpio season, we're almost done. I believe we have like a week and a half left of Scorpio season, but it feels like it's been forever, but that's because there has been so much going on. So much going on astrologically, personally. This has really been a time, at least for me, of going through the underworld. And I keep saying this, and I want to sort of give you a little context so that you can understand exactly what I'm meaning, or what I mean. So you see this zodiac wheel, right? It's a wheel in astrology. It goes counterclockwise, right? We go this way on the wheel. And I was doing some research recently. I'm an eternal student. I love to consistently learn. Even when I learn something, I want to go deeper and learn more about it. And I was reading this book on the houses in astrology. And basically the zodiac wheel is fashioned according to ancient Egyptian mythology. Because in ancient Egyptian mythology, they used to track the motion of the sun. Of course, that's how you were able to tell what time of day it was. And now when the sun, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, we all know that. When the sun makes its rounds, right? When it's in its orbit, as we move throughout the day, it rises in the east and it starts to gain power as we move toward noon. It starts to become more visible, obviously, in the sky, and also becomes more intense. Obviously, noon is usually when it's the warmest, because that's when the sun is highest in the sky, super visible. You get the point. As it makes its descent towards the west where it sets, it starts to lose power, obviously, because it starts to set. It's less intense. Now, once it sets, it was said that the sun actually went through the underworld. So from dusk until dawn, when the sun sets until it rises the next morning, the sun is going through the underworld. And I find that so amazing. And I feel like it's so apropos to this new moon energy now, because that's sort of what we've been doing during Scorpio season. And Scorpio, House Scorpio, Pluto, the planet that is associated with Scorpio also, it's about the underworld. And so the sun sets and it goes to the underworld to re-emerge the next morning back on Earth, right? And that's exactly what this new moon is. We have gone through the underworld. There is this saying that the only way to get to heaven is through hell. The only way to have that bright new morning, that fresh start, is to go through hell. You have to die. Not literally, but sometimes there may be a part of you that needs to die. There may be certain aspects of your character, certain things in your life that need to die in order for you to be reborn anew. And that is exactly what is happening with this new moon. So, like I said, we've got the moon and the sun conjunct in the sign of Scorpio. Now, what's good and interesting is that there's also this conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter. Now, back on the 12th, which was a couple of days ago, Pluto and Jupiter were exactly conjunct at the 22nd degree of Capricorn. And the 22nd degree of Capricorn is Capricorn. But in any event, these two planets were conjunct, and this was thought of to be a pretty fortunate conjunction. You know, Jupiter and Pluto are now going direct, and with Jupiter going direct, Jupiter is the greater benefic. It's the bestower of gifts, abundance, good fortune. Pluto, like I said before, is associated with the underworld, and my interpretation of this conjunction is that it's sort of like the reward that you find. It's these hidden treasures. And where are these treasures hidden? In the underworld. Now, the underworld can mean something different for everyone. The underworld may be your emotions. It may be some of those emotional wounds that you have to address, that you feel like you've been wallowing in for the last couple of weeks. The underworld might be situations, people, places, or things that you were associated with that had to die, things that had to be shed, but you have to confront them first before you're able to shed them. And that's what I mean by going into the underworld. And I feel like there is hidden treasures within this underworld, right? That's deeply buried. You know, when you're talking about hidden treasure, it's treasure in a place that you normally wouldn't find it. And you normally don't associate anything good with the underworld, right? You normally associate the underworld with death, with gloom, with grief, with negativity, with darkness. Those are all of the things that you associate with the underworld. But it is so necessary. It's not a place to be avoided. It's not a thing to be avoided and ignored and disregarded. We have to be able to traverse the underworld, because that is where we find the hidden treasures that allow us to have this new morning, this new sunrise, this clean slate that allows us to manifest the things that we want. And that has been the essence of Scorpio season. So back to the astrology. So we have this conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. And this conjunction is actually sextile to this new moon. So there is this beneficial energy between actually going through the underworld, finding these hidden treasures, and having this new beginning. And what's interesting is that both of these planets are in conjunct to the North Node in Gemini. So it's like there's this element of destiny at work also. The North Node is all about where we're trying to go. It's about where we're meant to go. It's about our destiny. It's about the destination, the end result of where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to be doing in this life. If you notice this triangle, both of these, you've got this Sun-Moon conjunction, Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, and they're pointing straight to destiny. That's why I'm telling you, there is this acknowledgement of endings within this new moon. I feel like the ending part of it is almost more important than the new beginning. Because if you don't acknowledge the ending, if you don't acknowledge the death, if you don't acknowledge the underworld that you've been traveling through and the things that you've learned while there, this new beginning is really not going to mean much for you. Yeah, you'll have a new beginning. Yes, of course, every new moon carries with it the energy of new beginnings, of planting seeds. But if you haven't done the internal work, if you haven't confronted your demons, if you haven't gone through death, this new beginning is really not going to be much of anything for you. And that's why I feel like this new moon is so important and feels so different than all of the other ones. It's just, there is a death that we must acknowledge, but know and understand that there is life after death. Most definitely, death is not the end. The proof is in the pudding. Does the sun not rise every day? Even when it's cloudy, the sun is still out, but it sets every night. It makes its way through the underworld every night and rises every morning, and so will you. But you've gotta go deep. You've gotta go to the underworld. You've gotta confront those things that you may not want to confront, that may be scary, that may be painful. It's necessary. It's really necessary at this time. Because now once you do that, and once you're able to rise that next morning, the power that you have to manifest and the power that you have to plant those seeds is amazing. It's immeasurable. It's more than you could possibly imagine. It really is, because Pluto also is a planet of power. Pluto is all about power. The underworld is about power. There's a lot of power there. That's why I said this conjunction between Jupiter and Pluto, it's hidden treasure. That's super potent, super powerful. If we're going to use the example of planting new seeds, you making this traverse through the underworld, it's almost like you are getting this fertilizer, right? This fertilizer to fertilize the soil that you're going to plant these seeds in. This fertilizer is so fucking powerful. You plant a seed, it's going to grow tomatoes the size of watermelons. That's to give you a sort of visual of what all of this means, what all of this energy really means, and what you can do with it. But again, you gotta make that descent. And a lot of you don't want to. I don't blame you. It's a scary place. I know personally the things that I've had to confront in the last week and a half have had me scared, frustrated, angry, and sad all at once. But the ending is so powerful that it makes me so excited about this new beginning. This is a complete rebirth. Well, how come this is not? Okay. It's a complete, I don't know why that's not, this is like horrible. I'm trying to write on this. I was like in my zone right now, and I'm trying to write on this and it sort of like went left, but whatever. Let me retype this. It's all about rebirth. This is life after death. Seriously. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And this is a very fortuitous time. You know, we've had a lot of wonky astrology lately, a lot of intensity, and just so you know, the intensity is not over. This is just a really important and positive pocket of energy that you really need to take advantage of right now. You know, we still have the eclipse at the end of the month. We've got an eclipse in December, so we still have a lot of intense planetary energy going on, but it's like we are being given this gift right now. This new moon is really a gift because it comes with it such powerful energy for a complete new beginning. This isn't just about, oh, I can use this energy to manifest a new car or to manifest a boo. This is energy ripe with rebirth after death. This is a whole new life we're talking about. This is brand spanking new life, what you really want out of life. The energy is right here, right now, at your disposal. Cannot stress that enough. And it's just positive. Again, and if you follow me, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that a lot of my posts talk about doing the work and how important it is to do the work. And I feel like in a lot of the readings I've been doing lately, that has been the main message. And I feel like doing the work, I'm talking about shadow work. What is shadow work? Confronting your shadow side. What is your shadow side? The underworld. That is what this all is. Confronting that, processing it, learning the lessons that need to be learned, and then rising again in the morning. You don't understand the immense gift that is and what positivity and abundance can follow doing that work. That's why that message has been coming up so much, is because it's super important to do it right now. Like, it really is. If you're not doing it, you are missing out on so much. if you don't take advantage of this energy, and this isn't about, I mean, for some of you, this may involve doing some new moon rituals. You know, new moon rituals, if you're looking to bring in something new, you know, you may want to do affirmations. You may want to do prosperity work. You know, there's a bunch of different rituals that you can do right now. But really, this is more about doing shadow work. And there are different tools to help you do shadow work. But it's really just sitting within yourself and confronting those demons, going into that underworld, whatever that underworld is for you. But again, this is such a fortuitous time. Like, you don't want to miss out on this. So please, if there's anyone that you feel that can benefit from this message, share this video far and wide. Because like I said, this new moon feels so much more different than all of the past new moons. This energy is so important, and it's so helpful to have that brand new life. So use it to your advantage. I cannot stress that enough. You know, and a lot of you are going to start to see rewards for this. Even though this is a new moon and this isn't a full moon where things come to a culmination, it's like, again, we're being given this gift. It's this big present. Imagine how you feel when someone hands you a big box that's wrapped up nicely with a nice big bow on it and maybe some extra shit. Don't you feel excited? Like you really want to know what's in that box. That's what this new moon feels like. But you have to have done the work in order to get that present, right? So yeah, so again, this is all about life after death. And certain things in our lives have to die to make room for the things that we actually want. Think about it. A lot of us want different things, right? We may want fame, we may want fortune, we may want security, we may want a great business, a great partner, whatever it is that we want. A lot of times things have to be moved in our lives in order to make room for that. It's not just about, okay, everything in your life stays the same and then you get all of this great stuff. Sometimes the things that you want are not in alignment with the things that you currently have. And those things have to be moved out of your life. They have to be eradicated in order to make room for all of that stuff. And that eradication is like a death. There are certain things that have to die, certain people that have to be removed, certain places you have to get away from in order to have those things that you want. And if you've been able to process those things, mourn those things, release those things that are not in alignment with what you want, that is when you get that big present and you open the box and it's all of the things that you want to manifest in life. Again, that is this energy of the new moon. It's about life after death. So I sincerely hope that you guys are able to recognize this energy for what it is and use it to your advantage, because now is the time for you to have the things that you want. Now is the time to have that life that you want. As long as you do the work, you're going to get the present, guaranteed. All right. So that was the astrology and my spiritual ranting about this whole thing. Let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for us this month. So as usual, I've selected the oracle cards and we'll use the oracle cards for a general message, and then I'll circle back with the tarot for some more specific messages. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you guys want to know more astrology, particularly for November, I'm going to put the link to the November horoscopes in the description box below. I've done it for each individual sign. You can read for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. These are very detailed horoscopes with the transits for the month, your ruling planet transits, you know, fortuitous days. So the link is in the description box below. Don't forget to check that out. Like I said, this video is a little different than my others. I'm not going to do a breakdown of the new moon for the signs for each individual sign. I've been guided to do just a general message for all of us, because this energy is so potent and it's so different. I feel like we all just need just a general message. So that's sort of how this video is going to go. So like I said, let's get into the oracle cards first and see what we've got. All right. First card out, I don't know if you can see that. All right, there we go, is victim. Now this is the heart chakra, being that it's green, and this is something that we all need to let go of. This victim mentality, feeling like everyone is against us, that things are happening to us. Remember I said Pluto, right? Pluto represents the underworld. Pluto is currently conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn. Pluto is a planet of power, right? And a lot of us may feel like we are powerless, which is why we're stuck in this victim mentality. Like everything happens to me. Other circumstances make things happen in my life. I don't have control over anything. This is what we have to let go of, because we are not victims. We are not victims by any stretch of the imagination. We are empowered. And this, especially as it comes to relationships, especially as it comes to things that we love and that we're passionate about, because again, this is all about the heart chakra. Things that we love, that we're passionate about, that we may feel like we have no control over. That's a lie, because we do have control over what it is that we love, the things that are in our life. We are not victims. We are not powerless. This is that energy that we all collectively have to get out of. Not for you. This card has been coming up a lot, particularly in my weekly readings and in my readings with clients. And this is a number 6. So this could have to do with relationships. Remember, I said that there are certain people, places, and things that we may have to let go of. And perhaps some of you have people in your life who make you feel like the victim. Or we've got people in our lives who make us feel powerless. These are people that are not for us. If we are enlightened beings, if we are in control of our destinies, if we are created in the image and likeness of God, right? That means that we've got God-like material within us, right? There's no way that we can be disempowered. There's no way that we can be victims. We are victors. To the contrary, we are victors. So whoever is making you feel powerless, whoever is making you feel like a victim, whoever is trying to control your life, your circumstances, how you manifest, what you manifest, that person is not in alignment with where you're trying to go. And that person is not for you, or those things are not for you. Take it as it resonates. Next card is service. It says, I feel good when I can help others. So, of course, this is always a great thing, right? Service. Again, you see this prominent green color. This is really speaking to me about the heart chakra. A lot of us have to heal our hearts. I feel like that's where a lot of us hold a lot of pain. And you know, rightly so, because our heart is really where we feel a lot of things. The heart is very powerful. And when that is broken, when your heart broken, when there's something that really touches your heart in a negative way, its effects can be it can reverberate into other areas of your life, right? I feel like I'm going to clarify this service card because I'm feeling like there's something that we need to do, almost like in service to ourselves is what I'm hearing. Certain things that we have to do for ourselves in order to fix that, in order to mend that. But again, I'll elaborate and see what that means. Unlikely. I don't know. I'm getting a theme here. We've got unlikely. We've got not for you. We've got victim. Do you see this trend here? There's a lot of things that need to be let go. Something that you may have wanted, something that you may have wanted to keep around, something that you may have wanted to continue engaging in. It's unlikely. I'm hearing misaligned. There's this misalignment going on that some of you need to address. We've got patience. And what number is this? 2. Okay, again, I feel like for a lot of you, this speaks to relationships. Particularly if we're talking about the heart chakra, yeah, definitely relationships. But I feel like you need to be patient with yourself. Not only in doing this work, but patient in the sense that, again, like I said, new moons are all about manifesting, right? It's all about setting intentions. I'm hearing this new moon may not be the right time for some of you to set intentions because, like I said, this energy of this new moon is really about endings also. And I think you need to be patient for when the time is right to actually start manifesting. A lot of us are still in the middle of doing this work. right? So even though this new moon is this weekend, it may not be the time to sit there on Sunday and be like, okay, let me do this new moon ritual so I can manifest this new car or $20,000 or whatever it is, because there's still work that we have to do. But the energy is still available to us. That's why I said it's more about the endings with this new moon than it is about the beginnings with the intention setting and all of that. So you need to have patience with yourself as you traverse the underworld, as you do that shadow work, as you confront those things that are not in alignment with you. You need to have patience with yourself. And then finally, we have the book. The book is all about secrets. It's also about knowledge. And what is this, a 26, which reduces to an 8? There is this knowledge. And if you notice, this knowledge, she's picking up a book that says alchemy. Alchemy is all about turning something of a lesser value into something of a greater value. Traditionally, alchemists in the traditional sense would turn lead into gold. It's turning a base material into something that's truly valuable. And that's what you're doing in this whole process. You're taking the energy from this underworld, right? This shadow work energy, and you're turning it into this energy that works for you. Again, it's like that fertilizer. It's like you're getting this fertilizer that's super strong, but the only way to get it is to go through hell, essentially. And this card also talks about secrets, things being hidden in books. What do you think the underworld is? The knowledge that you gain from that shadow work, from that death. It's like almost this hidden secret knowledge. And like I said before about Jupiter conjunct Pluto, it's hidden treasure. It's within this work that you are going to find your treasure. It's within this work, it's within this shadow work that you're going to find your abundance. It's like that message is coming through so loud and clear. It's ridiculous. All right, let's get into the tarot and see what else we got here. Oops. I'm hearing like the bottom fell out of something. I feel like some of you are experiencing like the rug being pulled out from under you right now. It's something particularly major, a little shocking, but it takes you by surprise. Perhaps, because it's happening and you didn't realize it was going to happen, or because what it is that you're experiencing is so like shocking. It's so shocking and it's so jarring. But that is your wake-up call. Some of you have been avoiding this shadow work for the longest, or you think you've been doing it, but you really haven't. And the rug is going to be pulled out from under you so that you can finally do this work. I feel like Spirit does not want us to not take advantage of this energy. And I feel like Spirit is going to be pulling out all stops in order to get us to do it if we haven't been doing it already. So keep that in mind. All right. First out, we've got the Two of Pentacles. We've got the Moon. Quite appropriate. This is a very emotional time. Look, we've got the Magician. We've got the Tower. What did I say? It's like, it's jarring. It's jarring. We've got the Six. Oh, we've got 3 here. We've got the Six of Swords. We've got the Supreme. And we've got the Daughter of Swords. I'll put this one to the side here. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to something, right? You see how she's holding on to all of these pentacles? But a lot of times the Four of Pentacles, it's like you're holding on to things out of fear. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now and what a lot of people are experiencing. Because like I said, there's so many things that many of us want in our lives, but there's no room for those new things in our lives. And there's a bunch of old stuff. There's a bunch of stuff that we've attached ourselves to that are taking up the space that those new things could have, right? And a lot of us hold on to those things out of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear associated with not feeling like you're worthy enough to have those things. There's so many different reasons why we may be holding on to these things. But underneath that, we've got the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is about oppression. I feel like there's such oppressive energy in holding on to these things. They're really oppressing you. They're really oppressing you. They're not giving you the space, some of you, the mental space that you need in order to be able to have those things that you want. And the mental space is extremely important because everything is mental. Everything starts out in the mind before it appears in your reality. And if your mental is clouded and oppressed, there's no way that you can manifest things that you want, particularly if some of you want this. If some of you want this is the 4 of Wands. You can already tell what this is. You've also got the Queen of Pentacles here. This is securing the bag, looking good, having all of those material things that you want. You can't have those things if you are in this. If your mind is just oppressed, right? That's why this is important right now. And what is this? This is the 4 of Swords. This is rest. This is healing. This is the shadow work. This is emblematic of the shadow work that needs to happen so that you get out of this energy. Someone definitely needs to hear that because that came through super strong and intense. All right. Again, this is quite an emotional time, right? Look at all of this water here. Super emotional. And I feel like a lot of times I associate this card right here, the 2 of Pentacles, with robbing Peter to pay Paul. Some of you may be doing that literally. Money may be tight and you're just like moving money around. But this is sort of like you trying to manifest things on your own without having done that work. It's this sort of juggling act that you're trying to do, right? So instead of getting rid of the 1 pentacle, in order so that you have the room to manifest something new, it's like you're juggling the shit that you already have. You're like, well, maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, I could have this, I can have that. It's almost like trying to sidestep the work that needs to be done. Because you see how she's not facing the water, right? There's all this emotion behind her and she's just like, let me balance these 2 pentacles. All right. And there's this like dam behind her and she ain't even paying attention to it. A lot of you are really avoiding that work. And I know why you're avoiding it. Look at the sheer volume of this water. Like it's just like immense. For you to go swimming in that water, you feel like it's going to drown you. You feel like you're going to drown in this sea of emotions. But guess what? Look what happens when you actually get into the water. Look at that. The water parts. There's no way that you are going to be consumed by this water. Look at that. If you were to just turn around and get into that water, do that shadow work, get into those emotions, no matter how intense, no matter how crazy they feel, look at what happens. Nothing. You're able to move forward. And you know, the moon card is the shadow work. It is the shadow side, right? I want you guys to get a good look at this picture. There is a path made for you to be able to what? Traverse it. What was I talking about before? Traversing the underworld. Remember how I said some of you are avoiding that work and Spirit is going to pull out all of the stops to get you in that water? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Something is going to happen, right? Around the time of this new moon. Maybe it happened already. Maybe it's about to happen in this coming week. But something is going to happen that's going to be super surprising, super crazy, that's going to make you turn around and get in that water. Get in that water and do that work. But I love the rest of this spread. Because what happens after you get out of that water? Look at you. Looking all magical and shit. And now you are able to manifest. And look at where you're manifesting from. This is where you're manifesting from. You are manifesting from the place of the supreme. You are all in your God, goddess-like energy. And this is where you're manifesting from. That's because you did this. You did the work. And now look at you. All magical and shit. All goddess-like with God right behind you. God is like, all right, now we ready to work. All right. What is it that you wanted again? What is it that you wanted? Boom, here it is. Here, I'm going to give you this one. You can make it happen yourself. We could do it together. However you want to work this out, that's how we'll work this out. Look at that. And then finally, you are moving forward. Moving into calmer waters. And look, what did I say? After you go through the underworld, you rise again like the sun. Look at the sun right there. Now you're coming out. You've gone under. See the moon in the background? This is nighttime, like what I was saying before with the ancient Egyptians. At night, the sun goes into the underworld. And so do we. Whenever we sleep, every night when we sleep, our souls go through the underworld. Our souls go a lot of different places, but our souls travel. At night, you gotta do that shadow work. You gotta go under. And then you emerge the next morning. Beautiful sunlight. Purity. Look at how she's dressed in all white. That purity. That's how you emerge. And then boom. Look at that. I don't even really need to clarify this because this message is so... That is what it is. That really is what it is. And then it's like you are equipped to move forward and like, it's almost like ask for what you want is what I'm hearing. See how she got her sword up? Communicating from this place. I'm telling you this, and if you don't take advantage of this energy, if you don't do this work, I'm telling you that you're going to be stuck in this victim, right? You're going to be stuck in this. You're going to experience a lot of this, not for you. People playing games and shit. This fortune cookie, you can't open it. And then the fortune cookie, I don't know if you can notice that. The fortune cookie says, nope. You're going to be stuck with everything going like this. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So do yourself that service. This service is all about you. It's all about what you need to do for you right now. And take that dive. You got to go deep sea diving. That's the essence of Scorpio season. Scorpio is all about, it's sort of like the energy at the bottom of the ocean. You can't see it, right? It looks so dark. But what is at the bottom of the ocean? Hidden treasure. From sunken ships, pots full of gold, whatever they say, I don't know. But all of that is at the bottom of the ocean, but you got to go deep sea diving in order to get it. You've got to go deep. You've got to confront those things that have been stagnant, particularly on your heart. Those things that have broken your heart, those things that may have felt like they broke you. You have to confront them. You have to process them. You have to deal with them. That is where you'll find your abundance. That is definitely where you'll find your abundance. I thought I had to clarify this, but I really don't, because this message is so strong. It's so strong. But I don't know. I'm a little nosy. So let's do some clarifying. I want to know, what is it that y'all are doing? Why are you guys distracted? Or why are you guys really trying to avoid this work? Let's see why. Why are you guys avoiding this work? Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is all about deception. You guys are deceiving yourselves. Like I said before, it's like you're juggling these two pentacles and you think that you could really do it on your own. You think that you can do it with what you have right now without having doing the work, and you guys are deceiving yourselves. Or someone else is deceiving you. Maybe you're following someone's direction who's saying, yo, you don't have to do that. Don't address your emotions. Leave things in the past. Don't rehash the past. That's not going to help you. Yeah, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you in the long run. Because all of that stuff that you want, all of the things that you want to manifest, you're not going to be able to because you haven't done the work. You haven't made room for those things that you want because you're still holding on to this shit. See how he's holding on to those swords? His hands are full. How can he receive anything else? And some of you are still in this fight or flight kind of energy. You see how he's just like fleeing the scene? I'm getting some of you are in fight or flight, and that is what's also preventing you from doing the work. A lot of you are just very fearful. You're very fearful. You're fearful of being hurt again. You're fearful of reliving the past. And I'm not saying that the work is easy. It's anything but. But it's the way to rising again and being able to step into your magician, and goddess power, supreme power. It's the only way. It's the only way. So stop deceiving yourselves and stop listening to people who say it's not necessary or people who offer some kind of quick fix. All of this stuff you see, especially on IG about manifesting and stuff. Is anyone talking about doing the shadow work? I mean, I know there are a lot of people who are, but those accounts that you may follow, those people who are talking about doing this and doing that and having the life of your dreams, are they even living that life, number one? And number two, have they done the work to actually get those results? Because anyone can talk about everything to do with manifesting because that's the fun part, right? Doing the rituals, doing the visualizations, doing vision boards, whatever it is that can help you manifest, whatever tool you use, whatever it is, that part is the fun part. That's the spiritual, aesthetic, the good looking shit, the stuff that everyone wants to hear, right? But what about that ugly work? Is anyone talking about that? The people who claim to manifest all these things in their life, have they done that work? If they haven't, then whatever they're showing you is deceptive and it's a facade. Because it's not the real deal. And they're not manifesting from this place. They're not. They're on some bullshit. Real talk. Watch who you follow. Watch who you listen to. People who are telling you you don't have nothing about shadow work and you don't have to do any of this work. You don't have to confront your demons. You don't have to confront the things that hurt you and finally release them. They ain't for you. Unlikely and not for you. Remember that. So stop deceiving yourself and stop listening to people that are deceiving you. Now I want to see what's this Tower card. This sudden thing that's going to happen that's going to make you jump in this water. I want to see what it is. What is this Tower card? Why is this Tower card here? I told you, Spirit is going to spare no expense to get you to jump in that water. Oh, look at that. The Fool. This is that new moon energy. This thing that's going to happen. You know, a lot of times the Tower card is associated with lightning. It's like a lightning strike. And a lightning strike is sudden. It's jarring. It's powerful. What is this lightning strike? This new moon. Remember how I said there's still a lot of wonky astrological energy for the rest of the month. We've got the eclipses. We had some crazy shit back in October with the 2 full moons and all of that. This new moon is this lightning strike. This new moon, it's going to, like, I feel like people are just going to, especially with all this water here. Water is all about emotions. People are just going to feel like they need to do this work. People are just going to feel, possibly out of nowhere, that now it's time to confront those demons. Now it's time to take a trip into the underworld so I can clean house, so I can rise in the morning and be able to manifest the things that I want in my life. I feel like people are just going to suddenly feel that way. And it's this energy of the Fool is all about taking that leap. And it's all about faith too. It's stepping out on faith. See, just doing it. I mean, look at this person. They're just like aimlessly walking off this cliff. Even the little dog is like trying to, I don't know if the dog is trying to follow them or whatever, but it's really just taking that jump into what? into the darkness, into the depths of your emotions. Some of you, it's into the depths of your mind. It's in the depths of your psyche. But you have to take the dive. You really do. You really, really do. All right, I want to, this Daughter of Swords energy, it's sort of like, so now that you've arisen, right? You're emerging out of the underworld after you've done all the work, and now you are in your magician's bag, and you and God are like boom coon buddies, and you guys can manifest all of this amazing stuff. We have this energy of the Daughter of Swords. So I want to clarify this and see exactly what this means. Why is this Daughter of Swords card here? We've got the Merlin. Now this is also the Hermit, right? But the Hermit is someone who is wise, someone who has been in the cave. The cave is what? It's dark, right? It's solitary. It's almost like this energy of the moon, where although it's not necessarily your emotions, but it is a sort of dark place in order where you can gain enlightenment. And once the hermit emerges, he has this lamp, and it's almost like a lighthouse for people. That is you. After you emerge from all this, a lot of you need to tell your story. A lot of you need to speak. A lot of you need to communicate, because y'all have to give your testimonies to people who are not doing the work. People who need to do the work but are not. I'm hearing that once some of you emerge and start telling your story, giving your testimony, that is going to be the lightning strike for other people to get them to do their work. And it goes on and on and on. And that is how the world cleanses itself. I mean, look at all of this water. Water is cleansing, right? There is a cleansing that needs to happen right now on a mass scale. But it happens individually, and then it is like a giant wave. And you guys are part of that wave. If you're hearing this message right now, know that you are part of that wave. Your job is to do this inner work, do this shadow work, and then be a beacon of light for everyone else. Share your story, share your testimony, whether it's doing a video, whether it's writing a blog post, whether it's even just having a conversation with someone. The time is now. We're not doing this. The whole point of this work is not just to have fly shit and to have a poppin' ass business. It's to heal humanity. It's to cleanse humanity. So many people are resistant to doing this work, and it's stifling the growth of society as a whole. But it's got to be on an individual level. And that's why people are going to need to hear your testimony after you've done all this work. It's so important. And the rewards are immense. Yes, you're going to have a great relationship. Yes, you're going to have money. You're going to have a home, kids, whatever it is that you want to manifest, you're going to have that. But you're also going to be of service, not only to yourself, but to humanity. A lot of you are light workers. See him carrying that lamp? A lot of you are light workers. And that is why it is important for you to do this right now. I'm not talking about later. I'm not talking about some other time in the future. I'm talking about right now. Now is the time. For you, for everyone else, for humanity. Now is the time. And you will be rewarded handsomely for your work. Please understand that. Please understand that. You will be rewarded handsomely. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whew. This has been a lot. And I see why this had to be a general message, because everyone needs to hear this, regardless of your sun, moon, or rising sign, or wherever this new moon is happening. Because right now, the theme, regardless of where this is happening in your chart, is life after death. Remember that as you do this work. Remember that and convey that to people as you speak to them, as you do videos like this one, as you post things on Instagram, as you write blog posts, and even in the one-to-one conversations that you have with people. There is life after death, and it is beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, y'all, that has been this new moon in Scorpio astro forecast, spiritual musings, taroscope, whatever you want to call it. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this, because this is really important. The time is now. All right, I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those links are in the description box below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead, where I do a quick and dirty tarot read, as well as a quick and dirty astro forecast on the energy for the upcoming week. So follow me there so you don't miss that. Again, I've put the link to the November 2020 horoscopes in the description box as well. Check that out so you can see exactly how the month of November is playing out for you guys. Again, that link is in the description box below. As always, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. Whenever I get these messages, it is my job to impart these to you. This isn't even like, oh, let me do this because it's cute, or let me do this because everyone else is doing. No, this was the mission I was given, and I follow orders. And that is why these messages are coming to you, because I am just the conduit. The messages come from the Most High. Trust and believe, and I am just the conduit to give them to you. But I always do it from a place of love, from a place of integrity, and straight from the bottom of my heart and soul. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, that link is in the description box as well. My loves, happy new moon. Happy rebirth. Welcome to your new life. All right? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.